If you've ever tried to play Widowmaker in an Overwatch game, you'll often run into dive, especially if you're sniper diffing the enemy. If you're widow diffing them or whatever, then they might switch to a Tracer, Sombra, Wrecking Ball, whatever, in order to try to counter you. And so in this video, I'm going to show you guys how you can deal with that without having to swap. And a lot of the times, you will have to swap, but sometimes you can get away with sticking on Widow even when it's in a tough situation. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how you can win in a tough situation up against a tough team comp, even if you're whiffing some shots. You'll see me whiff a lot of shots in this, and yet we still managed to get the victory, even though I was being countered. From the very beginning of this game, you can see that I'm watching the doorway, but as soon as that Sigma shield goes up, I immediately decide to look to the left. And the reason I do that is to check whether or not there's a Widow there. And so I'm peeking over there, trying to check if there's another Widow. Suddenly I get shot at. And there's this little angle from the side door that Widows can shoot through. And so that's where their Widow was shooting from. I was really careful not to expose myself to that, which is why I managed to live and kill the other Widow. And then it's just me playing around the Sigma shield. I do get too greedy after killing the Widow because all they're focused on me, they're all paying attention to me. But once I get res, I can repeat because they're not looking at me and I managed to kill this Ana. But I hear this Hanzo dart go, and so I decided to go up in the air since the Hanzo has his arrow on me and he can see through walls. And then I decided to rotate. I saw that shot from the Widowmaker, and because I saw that shot, I was able to know that she was there. It's just me paying attention to what the enemy is shooting at. You know, I can see their bullets, I can see where they are, and now I'm just playing on this low ground, trying to stay in different positions so they get confused. And then I go up on this water tower where I have a better vantage point, but the only person I can see here is Sigma. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't shoot at him. If you can see somebody, you might as well shoot at him. But I'm still checking to see whether or not there's an easier target coming up into view, whether it be their Hanzo or Widow or whatever. And I decide eventually that we've killed the Sigma, and I want to rotate. And I can see that they're someone on this top left, and so I'm going to try to go get an angle on that. But I can't really see him. I can finally see this Widow here. I decided to pop Visor to make it easier on myself. And this Widow has decided that she just wants to hide. She doesn't want to fight me. That's okay. I wait for my grapple to come back, go up top, and I'm still going to try to get a line of sight on this Widow. I'm just going to rotate so the Sigma can't see me, and then I see their Widow go back up, so I can finally get a shot on her. However, the Hanzo catches me out because I was playing really far up, and so he manages to kill me, and that's okay. I get rezzed, which our Mercy decided to go for. I hear that the Sigma's flexing, so I decided to just run away, split from my team, and I'm just going to shoot the Sigma. You can see I whiff. I actually whiff a lot in this game, and that just goes to show you don't actually need to be cracked out of your mind to play Widow. If your positioning's good and you don't die a ton, you should be okay. I managed to get this kill on the Hanzo once I turn and see him. Just to, you know, make my life easier, I decided to go back on this water tower to get better shots, but I just can't quite hit this Ana, and I'm really low, so I try to back out, but she manages to kill me. And so now I'm going to have to come back from spawn. Once I'm back, I'm just going to stay on this high ground, and I heard the Tracer get slept and get pinged, and so I decided to go for a headshot, but our Cassidy kills her, kills her already, and so now I'm just trying to get looks. I know that their Hanzo's at the top left, so I throw a grenade over there so I can see him. It kind of gets me some wall hacks briefly, and I managed to get that kill. And this is just me playing positions, just trying to take out one target at a time. I go back on the water tower because I love this spot, and I'm just going to shoot at the Sigma because he's the only person that I can see, except that this Tracer comes around, so I want to try to kill this Tracer. Now she's 1 HP. She's going to try to drop on me, but I really want to kill her here. She does manage to grab the health pack. I didn't know that, so I was going to just spam her down, and she just barely gets away. And I am no Hanzo, so I actually really struggled to kill a Tracer. And this is the start of the counter. And so the point of this video is how do I deal with that Tracer? How do I deal with the other dive characters that they end up swapping to? For the current moment, I decided to pop Visor. They're pretty close to the end. I think I might be able to get this Hanzo here. So I decided to drop. My grapple's coming back, so I'll be able to grapple up top if I need it. I'm just going to try to keep an eye on this Hanzo here. Eventually he'll ping me. Or, I mean, he'll swing me, I ping, so it did get him that first time, but he reswung it, so I managed to hit him in the head. I look for this Ana, don't quite manage to hit her head, and so I just decided to back out, you know, go play with our Ana. She's already sniping, I might as well snipe from here anyway. And I really live here for quite a while. You'll see, I decided to throw some new Venom mines to try to get an angle in case they peek up top, and then I can shoot them. And your Venom mine is really useful. You really just want to have your Venom mine watching angles that you don't want to watch. So you can just throw it whenever you need it. I see that this, their support's down here. There's Zenyatta is down below. And so I try to get a sight line on him, but the Sigma shield is just really in my way. I'm not really able to get much value here. And by the way, you'll notice that I stick on Widowmaker this whole time. And now that that dragon's come, I've decided to play near this little cover. And I decided that they're not coming top, and so I decided to throw my Venom mine down below where people are more likely to come from. And I don't have to watch it quite as often now. And I'm aware that there are people down there for once, and so I actually want to pay a little more attention there. And that's what my Venom is for. But you can see I still look at other angles. I don't want to be tunnel visioning on one side. And finally, my Venom Mine does catch someone. I immediately replace it and still look for other kills. And eventually, they will actually come out of this bottom area, I believe. And so it's just me paying attention, trying to see if I could get somebody. So it's really... I'm still able to shoot at people through... Despite the Sigma Shield, despite the Tracer, and the Hanzo sniping. It's just playing safe. So I'm playing up with my Ana, but like around some cover. So I'm still staying in areas where I could back out easily if I need to. And I'm just staying safe. All's well. My supports are able to heal me. A lot of Widowmakers will run off to the side and they get really upset when their supports won't heal them. I've been there. I know how it is. But you have to be in line of sight of your supports. They have a difficult time turning around. In Overwatch, there's no sidebar that tells you your friendly's health. And so you just have to let them know. And if you stand really close to them... I decided to back up because my whole team's backing up, so you have to be aware of your team. I decided to shoot at the Sigma because he's the only one I can see. And again, this Tracer's going to bother me. I'm not Hanzo, so I'm just going to kind of ignore her. And my supports, again, I'm playing with my supports. They can both see me, but I decided to back up, and so I don't have to deal with Tracer. I'm going to let my supports go heal someone else, throw a Venom Mine behind me just in case she comes back and goes around the side. Now I'm just going to shoot at these people on point. And there's nothing much I can do. I decided to pop Visor because there's only 20 seconds left anyway. And I'm going to shoot at the Sigma a little bit. He pressures me out, but I can just stand in line of sight of my supports again. And it's just Sig. So now I'm going to go with only 10 seconds left. I know my team will take care of that Tracer for me. I don't have to bother with it. So I want to get a kill on this Ana. She probably shouldn't touch anyway, but I'm going to try to kill her just in case. And just kind of stall him out, you know, before the end of the time. And so there, the way that I was able to deal with the Tracer and the Sigma Shield was just where I was playing. Whenever the Sigma Shield blocked off my line of sight, I went somewhere else. And whenever that Tracer pressured me, I, again, went somewhere else where she couldn't get me as easily. Tracer doesn't have high ground, so a lot of the time you can drop. Tracers will chase you down onto the low ground, and you can grapple back up top. And, again, playing with your supports. A lot of Widows like to flank. They like to be on their own, which is totally valid, except you just need to be aware if you are flanking on your own that your supports can't always see you. Once we're on the attack, I want to play in this area again. And this is where their Widow played for the first fight. And she was able to shoot at me, but I killed her here. So I want to be careful, and I'm just checking to see if there's another Widow in the spot that I was playing at. There's not, so I go on this building to try to get a better line of sight. And I'm just going to not shoot at the Zarya, because why would I shoot at her during her bubbles, except right there when she bubbled right before I shot. But we kind of ignore that. And I hear that there's a Sombra around, and I'm trying to pay attention to that. But also, there's this Ana. And that Ana manages to kill me there. I kind of ego peeked her at the end, and that was because I was trying to get to my supports, but my supports were in front of me, and so it's a little dangerous, and the supports can't always see you if you're in front of them, or if they're in front of you, forgive me. So I managed to help our soldier kill the Ana there out of that spot, and now I'm keeping an eye out for Sombra. And they're playing Sombra here, by the way, which is, again, part of the reason for this video. They really want to kill me, and so I'm playing with my supports up top. And there's Sombras here. I'm paying attention to her. I feel like I can kill a Sombra a little easier than a Tracer because you can't teleport all the way. I got greedy. I wanted to go for a kill on their Mercy, but me playing up there is really just a bad spot in general, and they capitalize on that, and so I have to take an L there. So remember your positioning. It is best to play far back. I managed to kill this Sombra, which I was looking for, and so I really just wanted her dead. And now my life is a lot easier. I can kind of just move over and try to look at this Ana. But it looks like she backed out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw a Venom Mine randomly and then go to cart. And you want to be careful about playing on cart as Widow. But I want to play a little off of it. I can use it as cover and kind of follow it around, keeping another body on there. And also, I don't want to stand on top of it because then it messes up my aim because it's moving me without my control. And so I'm going to wait till they come. Wave a couple shots. And then there's the Sombra here, so I want to pay attention to that. And there's also an Ana looking at me. And you can see that the Mercy is kind of playing with me, and she's making sure I live. And that's really important to make sure you are with your supports. I still want to look at their supports over on the left. I managed to take a kill on the Mercy. I managed to kill the Mercy here, and it's really funny right there. I guess I talked for so long without touching my computer. My PC just went to sleep. So, I guess I'll have to be aware of that while I sit here and do commentary. So anyway, now I'm just looking up. I'm going to try to put a Venom Mine over on the flank in case somebody comes over there. I'm going to pop my ultimate. And this is where things get tricky. On the attack here, this is a situation where it's not as good of a spot for Widow. Junkertown in general is a pretty good map for Widowmaker. The second point is her weakest point out of the three. And I still want to stay on Widow though. My idea was to play on Widow because I really wanted the Widow icon. And you have to win 15 games for that, the silhouette. So now I'm just going to back up into this room to play safe. But I know that Sombra is still around, and so I'm going to try to get out as soon as I can, which I do. And now I'm just kind of playing on the low ground, looking for kills. Trying to kill those people that are up top for my supports. Really, Widow's not great here. Their soldier ults, I decided to ego peek him, which is the wrong call. But I was feeling my aim right there. I was wrong. You gotta be really careful. It's usually best to just wait it out. And the Sombra is kind of cleaning up the team. And they're going to be an issue here. But it's not that big of a deal. And I've been able to deal with the Sombra and Tracer so far with just my positioning. Again, if you're with this video, watching it with the goal of finding out how to deal with Sombra and Tracer, it's just kind of play closer to your supports than you normally would. So now I'm looking at the Zarya. I'm not shooting at her bubbles. She's wasting a lot of bubbles on, like, just looking at me. So we managed to kill her. And then I want to look for their Ana now. She's my biggest threat because she's the enemy sniper. Well, other than Sombra, I guess. I avoid the nade and I go to try to kill the Ana, except that I whiff a lot of shots here. And this goes to show, like, even if you miss a bunch of shots, it's not the end of the world. You can still play snipers if your positioning's good. Our Junker Queen decides to clean up some kills. And I'm still going to stick on Widow. Now, you will see that the enemy ends up switching to a Wrecking Ball here. And that's when I really am messed up, because the Wrecking Ball is going to kill me a lot. And I am leaving all of this in the video so that you guys can see it's not like a flawless run all the time. So I want to kill this Ana, but I whiff a couple shots. There's a body shot, and I just absolutely whiff, and then the ball gets me. So that Wrecking Ball is going to be a nightmare. I really don't want to fight that Wrecking Ball as a Widowmaker. If you do have to go up against a Wrecking Ball as a Widowmaker, the best thing to do is to just play where he can't get to you or where you can run easily. And that's kind of difficult to do with a Wrecking Ball, but it is definitely possible, so you just have to keep an eye on that. So I am going to shoot at him because he's the only person in my line of sight, but you can see that I'm also looking for other people to shoot at. I'm going to pop my ult and look for the Sombra here. She gets out. Again, still, it's okay to shoot tanks as Widowmaker, by the way. If they're the only person in line of sight, you can just get some damage on your team. I help clean up the soldier, and then I'm going to look for this Ana. And again, I'm whiffing shots. I'm whiffing a lot more shots on her than I was originally. Managed to get slept because I'm goated at this game. And I think it's about here that I decide I'm going to swap. Yep, I go Hanzo. And my reasoning for this is that their Wrecking Ball is really messing me up. And I don't want to fight their Wrecking Ball the whole time. I want to be able to get other people. And also, I'm missing a couple shots. So sometimes you do have to admit defeat. Sometimes Widow is just not going to work. And you'll have to switch. So you need someone that you can play backup. I can play Hanzo. So, because I want to stay on snipers. Now I'm going to look for the Sombra here. I got that kill on the Kiriko, but I still want to pay attention to Sombra. She's going to not really let me get her. And so I'm just going to push up. I'm just going to be a little careful. The Sombra jumps on our Ana, so I'm going to look for her. Still try to help her out. She manages to TP away, and I can't really do much, so I'm just going to go back to my team. And you can see to play around the Wrecking Ball with the Hanzo, I'm just going to play with my team. A little closer. I'm not playing super snipery. I'm just going to play on the point with my team. There's a soldier here, so I'm going to kill him. And then this bubble is kind of up in the air, and so I decided to climb on the wall to try to stand in it while I look for Sombra, but she TPs away, so I decided to just play on the cart. And this Kiriko just kind of gives up eventually, so she's like, oh, I'm dead, so I can just punch her to death. And so that's kind of how you deal with the dive characters, is you want to play with your team more than you normally would as a sniper. It's totally fine to play with your team, just don't play too far up, or you'll get pressured out. But it's totally a valid strategy to play with your supports. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, let me know if you like the analyses of my own gameplay. I'm not perfect. You can see a lot of flaws in this game. I miss a lot of shots and all that jazz. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll have more guides coming soon.